Canada 3. Welcome to the UK, folks. Welcome to the UK. And how wonderful it is. How wonderful it is. Did anyone see my my flash mob chat from my last video? It was pretty amazing. So yeah, you check out that video. How my last live stream in the UK was interrupted at 6:15 or something like that, and we did a flash mob, so everyone just unplugged from the chat and left the two salty ones there to insult each other. Rach, how you doing, yo? Were you there yesterday when I did my flash mob for the first time? It worked out good, yo. So yeah, I was checking out some videos on this dude, Charlie Zelenov. He's a real friggin' creep, man. Yeah, yesterday we left him in the dirt. Yeah, exactly. It was real nice. It was funny. And I'm sure he's confused as heck. He doesn't know what to do. Guy's not even making his own content anymore. That's why I'm pivoting away from the US, man. They can't blame me if it's broken. They can't say it's my fault if I'm not even watching their videos. Like, I'm watching everyone's video a day later. So, you know what I mean? My video's made, and then that's it. That's, you know, it's like I go to bed, man. I go to bed, man. And then they watch my video and make their own videos. I hope it doesn't affect them negatively. Quantum Epic, did you like that yesterday? I noticed you were like, oh yeah, I remember. And then you did the two peace signs and we were gone. And remember I told you I would record it, so I put that video out today of clowning the clowns. Thanks. Or Crackety. Can't compete with the king, that's right. Jojo just subscribed, check it out. We got the guys back. My little man's back, folks. He's back. We're going to name this little guy here, we're going to name him Defango. Because he looks a lot like Defango over here. And, yeah, Quantum Epic, you know what? YouTube has reached a new low, man. And basically, what's left of YouTube is basically a bunch of parasites in the chat who promote friggin' viral infections from the early 2000s in the, I guess we can call it video vlogging, ceremonial vlogging, that's what we'll call it. Ceremonial vlogging for seniors. So yesterday, the seniors, Roy Potter and Mr. Caddy, they all put out the same kind of video about something about the cabal and something about Cappy or some. I mean, Mr. Caddy's been in his friggin' house for 3 years. He's been in his YouTube bedroom with frozen water bottles every winter. Like, he doesn't get out in the real world. Like, I've seen him for 3 years in that little log cabin in the woods. So, Roy Potter, Gentleman Potter, who's not willing to relinquish his love for certain criminal elements on YouTube. Yeah, well, he used to be a police officer, if you can imagine that. And so yeah, he used to be a police officer, so he knows the difference between criminal and not criminal, unless he was one of those, bad police officers. So I'm hoping he figures it all out, because YouTube's reaching a new low of low. You've got all these, I don't know how the young kids don't notice all these seniors running around triggered, man. Like 60-year-old dudes and ladies that are 55 that are friggin' wackadoodle, man. Shelly B. Oh man, what a pleasure! It's like Saturday Night Live, but for adults. I haven't watched that show Saturday Night Live in a while. I'm sure it's creepy as hell. I should probably check it out so that I don't just think it's creepy. I actually can see it for myself. So, yeah, Shelly, you're not really missing much. So basically, it's like the guy was saying last night, Old Man Winter, when he arrived, he was like, he said in one of the comments, he goes, "Oh, your views are dropping," and I was like, "My views are dropping." I'm like, "Hell, man, I've left the USA server. Check my about page, man. It says I'm from the UK right now on my YouTube, so." My views aren't dropping. It's not that easy to get completely new viewers in a different continent, in a different country, with a similar language. But obviously, English from Canada is not the norm in the UK. So I'm gonna have to, have to go easy on the on my old on the clansmen. Well, they readapt to the new version of UK Toof. No, I'm not even gonna mention Toof when I get to the UK, man. I'm friggin'. It's not what this channel's about, man. It's not a Toof channel at all. I'm leaving that area for the boys over there in the USA. Yeah, it's cool. If you're watching from the US, what's gonna happen is basically, if someone doesn't like me and they watch my streams from the US, they're not going to be able to do their YouTube in the US. They're going to have to start, watching, being up in the middle of the night. Unless they just want to watch them as videos, which is cool, and then they can't troll me. So the hardcore trolls are going to basically go nuts trying to follow this pivot to the UK. And so, the month isn't that long. We got about a week left, and I'll be back, kids. I'll be back, and hopefully by then I'll have I've shaken loose 2 or 3 of these old timer trolls that friggin' once they stay up past 10 o'clock at night, man, they're finished for the next couple days. What a great idea. A portrait of the Queen or some, a royal plate or something, just for the rest of the month. It's a good idea. I'll do that, Shell. I'll see if I can find one at the secondhand store. They always got stuff like from vacations and stuff. Maybe I'll get a Big Ben clock or something. But, yeah, so I was watching some UNRIG today, and I wasn't that impressed, obviously, once again. But it's kind of crazy because, UNRIG was talking out about Lift the Veil, and obviously, there's different types of monetization. Like UNRIG is more monetized around his little cryptocurrencies and his platforms and his YouTube, his monetized YouTube videos that run 5-6 hours long, daily live stream. So when he's talking out about Lift the Veil, who's monetized more around the idea that someone's going to be booking for him, like Thomas, and then they're gonna pay him, you know, a flat rate like $500, and then he's gonna do a show about someone and promote them and their PayPal address, and he gets his $500, and you know, UNIROC gets his, you know, one AdCent at a time, and a bunch of friggin' cherry coin donations. So you can kind of see that when UNIROC's sitting there, you know, looking back and looking down on Lift the Veil, it's great, folks. It's the beginning of the end for the clowns. Once they start taking each other out, that's it. My work's, you know, your work's over. You just gotta sit back and watch Britney Spears go to the hairdresser. You know what I mean? So I was watching that, and I mean, everything about UNIROC's stream is bizarre. He's even got some neon stuff that spins around his microphone for added psychosis. I mean, it's just bizarre. So, with the old folks over there and Roy Potter and the new kids, you know, obviously, I seen him doing some more live streams of his gaming. So, the reason they always fall back on their gaming is to, you know, to stay open to the people that are using consoles and not necessarily computers. Right? So, it was a nice stream last night. It was real pleasant, and tonight I think it should be the same. Hopefully, there won't be any interruption, and we'll try and finish her off, you know, get people to bed early. That way they can enjoy Sunday. And obviously I've been taking care of business for this week coming, that I can do live streams in a few different formats. And I'm looking forward to triggering a lot of my haters. And you know, I'm just looking over the Tooth movement, and there's pretty much nothing to salvage there as far as I can see. So, you know, love them or hate them, there's no one gonna be satisfied over there. They're born unhappy. You know what I mean? You heard of born to lose, born unhappy. So, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. I know a lot of people are like very opinionated, and it's basically become an opinionated platform of non-IM creators. So the most opinionated people don't create content, because the content creators realize if you're opinionated, people troll you. So it's become weird, and I'm sure no matter what I do, at some point, you know, things will be redirected. So you just gotta take it one day at a time, and do the best you can. And I was thinking about, you know, if I have to do. Anyways, I was just thinking about a bunch of stuff. It's actually cool that I'm not doing YouTube during the day, because it allows me to just like I get on like about 1 o'clock in the morning, and I just look at see what some of these freaks are covering, you know, and what the Jordan Slathers are up to. Yeah, well, Quantum Epic, it's such a pleasure having like regular people that aren't necessarily big time YouTubers, but are onto the game like from jump, you know, like they really, you guys, if you, for whatever reason, you took a chance, and you know, you looked for yourself into some of the things that I'm saying, and one thing leads to another. And once you open your eyes, it's like you basically can see all this stuff. Like it's not very convincing once you can see the performers. So I'm just so pleased, like especially the fact that it's not a bunch of, you know, I didn't convert a whole bunch of flat earthers. I just kind of like have a real wide variety and eclectic group of people, and obviously my analytics are changing, you know, but they really look good. Like they're nothing like Defango's analytics or Uniroc's, you know, where I'm kind of like have analytics where my viewers are in the top end above 40. So I mean, I know there's a lot of 40-year-old crackpots now, but there's a lot of sensible people that you know, think for themselves, and hopefully they find some kind of value in my explanations of things, in my the way that I kind of experience this here website on a everybody doesn't have to do the same thing as me. They can kind of take a little crash course and avoid the, you know, 3 years of friggin' hate drama. Well, you know, if I have to buy subs, man, I don't know what I'm gonna. I mean, I don't know why I would have to take real money and buy subs for fantasy, fantasy YouTube. But you know, there's all kinds of different reasons to do YouTube, and obviously buying subs and paying Google for AdWords, and working very hard on monetizing out of social media is something that from 2016 was like promoted. I mean, damn, it's pretty much been sold. So yeah, the people that come to the top in that market are heroes, and so most of the champions are a little bit like GoFundMe. You know, they're into all these crowdfunding things, and it's all developed over the last 2 years. I mean, it's not always been like this on the internet, you know, kids. There was never really a way to buy things without a credit card until there was PayPal, and I was like, I mean, you're not talking about that long ago. I mean, for PayPal, maybe when was PayPal started? What, 2001, 2003? Anyways, it's none of this stuff's been around that long. So people that come around and they have impressions that it's been like this a long time, well, they'll learn. Nathan, well, Nathan, you know, I mean, I don't dislike the guy, even though, you know, I find him a little bit odd in the fact that he kind of like his you know, mission statements changed over the years. Like when he first came here, it was like he was pulling the wool over everyone's eyes. But you know, in the last year, it's like he fell in love with YouTube. He got married on YouTube. He married a YouTuber. YouTube is becoming his life, man, and he's trying to kind of find a little niche, and you know, he obviously wants people to know that he's like a show, and they could call in, and they can pay him to promote people, because you know, that's obviously something that he's looking into as a vehicle for his show. And you know, it's better than Defango that was giving away fidget spinners and stupid 3D printed puzzles to get like child subscribers, you know, like 16-year-old subscribers. Who the hell wants fidget spinners, man? You know, that watches Defango's content. So, hey, is J-Man in the house? Man, this is a great time for J-Man. Yeah, well, J-Man, get ready, because what I notice, you know, it's funny because I go around YouTube and I see different people commenting, and we all watch and see the same people and comment, and I just notice how there's everyone's so opinionated, and it's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just looking over the landscape, and I'm like, damn, I'll never be able to make any of these people happy, man. I'm just gonna friggin' shake this whole friggin' crowd loose, man. And when people are like, what are you doing? I'm gonna be like, I'm from the UK, man, and we do things weird over here. And they'll be like, why are you doing this like that? Why don't you just do it this way? And I'll be like, I'm from down under, man. We're upside down, man. What do you want from me? I'm not going back, man. I'm not going back to the USA. I'm so happy over here. Look, I got like, 5 people commenting, and it's like it's a family reunion, for Pete's sakes. I mean, people are going to come to this chat and find their soulmates. This is better than Pete Santilli's Patriot Love Dating. Yeah, I guess it was an eye-opener 2 days ago when somebody from the Flat Earth was telling me that if I didn't want to believe that Dave Acton and his brother were the same guy, that I was a Canadian espionage Canadian squad, CSIS. And then I was just like, you know what, man? I mean, and then I saw people were like mentioning, they were like, oh, what's up with China? He's sold out and gone to Team Goodman. I mean, shit, man, you gotta let people friggin' sell out before they call them selling out. I mean, people are just gonna be, nobody gonna have respect for people that just throw out stuff selling out. I mean, I didn't even friggin' go on the guy's show yet. I'm already been designated a sellout. What happens if I go and everybody gets better and becomes less fucking tragic on YouTube? I mean, not what my whole people gotta have some kind of a plan, man. It's gotta be, you gotta have a bigger plan than what other people want you to do, or you run out of friggin' planning, right? So obviously, if I can make people do something better, I got no problem participating with that. I mean, obviously there's people on YouTube that no matter what you do are gonna hate, man, and pre-hate you and say things in a way so that they try and trigger other people like it's gonna be a landslide of hate. And YouTube is like one of those polling stations that, where they get paid to tell you who's gonna win in the elections. It's like really BS, man. And then when you do the video and when you talk to people, you get a real sense of what people are thinking. If you just listen to basically the people in the chats, it's like, I think the chats are overpopulated with people that have been on YouTube so long and they don't create content, that they're just mad at everyone that creates content. They just want everyone to just chat, man. Just stop making videos and stay down there and chat. Yeah, J-Man, that's great advice, man. You don't take yourself too seriously over here on YouTube. I heard that Logan Paul looks like he's on the juice, man, like not orange juice, you know what I mean? So yeah, if you're making $1 million a month on YouTube and then you start taking steroids, well, you probably shouldn't be making so much money, because it's not helping you. It's not helping you make good decisions anyways. So it sure is a mindful experience to try and navigate the platform called YouTube. So Scott Stevenson, nice to see you, my friend. You got any questions for the psychic channel over here? I got 2 crystal balls. I got one over here. And basically I can predict pretty much, you know, what is going to happen on YouTube. And usually within 5 days, I'm dead on, give or plus or minus 2 days, you know. What's up with McCranky? McCranky used to like Monograph, and then he's kind of on the fence. He kind of likes me, but not really. He's just checking it out. Yeah. Well, Scott, man, and what can I say? I'm telling you, I'm gonna figure out a way to get on this Goodman show and maintain my credibility in the movement. Don't worry, man. I ain't stupid enough to friggin'. I mean, you're not talking about genius level intellect of this movement, man. We're talking about. I mean, basically, I already got a plan for that. I already got a plan, man. I got a plan. I'm gonna have a couple, you know how don't worry, I got a plan. Just know, if I'm doing something, I got a plan. What's up, Ice Spy? We're doing some renovations, Ice Spy. We're gonna paint the back wall this, maybe today on Sunday. So I don't know if you noticed, man, but you doing these streams and always being on at 4 in the morning is a real is really helpful to disconnect from the people doing content during the day. It really is. And I don't know why that is, but more so than I believe I had originally thought. You know, when I started this little experiment, the old going to UK. So basically, just like Freedom Network, you know, you can go to Dubai and do your YouTube from Dubai and not pay no tax. Well, if you're getting trolled, man, you just friggin' change your location to United Kingdom, man. Change your language to United Kingdom. Friggin' do some translating things on your videos there, and away you go, man. And just start scheduling your stuff in the middle of the night. And, you know, you could tweak exactly the hours that your most hated trolls wake up, and you do your stream like 2 hours before that, and it's YouTube without any video violence or any chat violence. It's like a new kind of YouTube. And since nobody knows me in the UK, I'm not. I mean, nobody even knows my stream's on in the UK, so how could I be bothering anyone? And if things go wrong on the US server, and they start talking about this or this, the Fantastic Four or the Terrible Three or whoever these people are that are causing grief to the channels and the networks and the little groups over there, well, they can't blame me for it anymore. I'm not the frickin' leader. I'm in bed while these people are leading themselves. And it's nice to see that it's almost like coming to a head with these scammers, that they're the power of the low end, you know, average users is overwhelming the teamed up with even the news and the television and networking, you know, platforms and banners and sponsors, and these people are crashing and burning, man. Summer 2018. Mark my words, kids. Random Rants Orion looks like he's about to quit YouTube permanently, man, and just give his channel to someone else. You know, maybe he'll give it to his little partner there, the gardener. And don't be surprised if Random Rants and Ryan. I mean, this is my psychic prediction for tonight. That Random Rants and Ryan will pack up his channel and all that pizza stuff will go away. And he'll come back as simply lawn care and ginger sun repellents secrets. He doesn't even sell you the bottle of sun repellent. He just sells you the secret. And that'll be the end of RRR. The branded non... I mean, these guys thought they were so smart when they came to YouTube. And I remember exactly when all of these guys did their first videos. I saw them all. And to see them now, like a year after, you know... That's the best thing about not working in a group, is that you don't have to be held responsible for everything else that everyone did. You're just your own person, you know, and if you didn't get into any of these groups, well, it's kind of cool, because what's happened is that, you know, when you do things that are a bit shameless and a bit, you know, dishonest or deceitful, well, it's cool while you're doing it and getting away with it, but a year later, when you're cold busted, nobody's talking about that. And so now they're dealing with the other end of climbing the YouTube mountain of BS, you know? Like, if you go to YouTube and you make a channel and you're artistic, or you have a music channel or any kind of channel that you do something besides lie, I mean, you're gonna have a certain amount of success over time if people enjoy it. But if you make a channel and it's all about grifting and telling fibs and friggin' lying and trying to be better than Alex Jones, and they're all telling you, yeah, it's gonna work out good, why do you think Alex Jones is not on YouTube anymore, doing that himself, and he's got other clowns doing it for him that don't have the banner? Why? Well, because Alex Jones was targeted in 2014, man, and he had to leave YouTube, man. I mean, he had to. There was just, everybody was just trolling Alex Jones, period. Now, he was the only person that people were all focused on when this whole troll started. And he went over to his satellite under the premise that he was, you know, too good for YouTube. But he didn't go nowhere, man. His little people came back on YouTube. His little, you know, Joe Biggs and all those 5-6 other people that he hired. That's all post Alex getting ejected off YouTube. I'm telling you, man. I seen these people, and yep, I think it's a beautiful sight. I don't think Lift the Veil's going to do anything but make improvements until he can move on over and away from, you know, and salvage something and do his little YouTube career and his YouTube marriage. But like the Fango quit and left and came back. I mean, Random Rants of Ryan don't look like he's got anything to come back to. He's like on the verge, man. So, who won the wow of the week? I think it was it Lift the Veil, I think? I know it was between 3 people. Lift the Veil. Anyways, I just watched it before. Okay, Lift the Veil won. Yeah, he won Wanker of the Week. And rightfully so. I mean, the guy brought Cappy to YouTube. Okay? And he was also the guy that pretty much brought the tranny in the trailer over when they were doing the VOP. And he was pretty much the second guy to bring VOP on for cash. You know what I'm saying? So he deserves to win a prize for being a sucker and for trying to get paid introducing whack jobs to YouTube. And I mean, it's good. It's good. It's non-offensive. It's not like you're hurting a guy. You know, you're just making him famous for being a friggin' some kind of a clown booker. I mean, the guy should go work at a circus. Sovereign humanoid. I don't know about sovereign humanoids. The tranny in the trailer, yeah, so that's Jib Camera's video, where you had that friggin', I mean, he looks like a sailor, like a 60-year-old sailor in a bustier, friggin' in a trailer with a bunch of women's clothes hanging up around, talking about, you know, VOP and the camps, the sex trade camps. I mean, pure fantasy, man, pure Clintons are eating babies fantasy, just like they're talking about. Slather was explaining to the real world. That's what's going on YouTube research. Yeah, you saw that Cappy video by I guess it was by Joelbot, and basically Cappy did a movie where, you know, it's like a B-rated movie, but it's a real movie. Like, you know, you got the guy's a star in said movie. There is a child in the movie, and it is a very sad, you know, story. I mean, I'm not even going to go into it, but it is, I mean, these people are borderline, I mean, these people are borderline getting stoned in the streets in the olden days for once the town finds out what they're up to. So yeah, the video is very distasteful. It's about an abused child, a girl, and Cappy, guess what? Well, he's the damn star, if you can believe that. He's starred in a actual movie where he's a murderer. I believe he's the one that murders the girl and abuses her. So, enough said, man. I mean, I don't know how to explain to you people that, well, not to my people, that, you know, preaching to the choir here, but to explain to new people coming to this channel to see that the Pizzagate stories are not real. They didn't actually find children that told them the story. The stories are made up by guys like James Alefantis and, you know, geniuses like Dave Acton in the background, like twisted dudes, okay? So the stories are messed up, but there are no victims in these stories. There are no captured people. There are no rat lines discovered in books, handbooks retrieved. There's no behind the enemy lines. It's just these freaking clowns releasing information in such a way that the internet's gonna absorb it and allow it to go viral. And clowns, even the FBI's paper with all the friggin' triangles and the symbols for pedo. Yeah, well, the FBI, well, part of the triggering the audience. And obviously, if you're seeing that if all these people are eating babies and killing people, well, don't you think the FBI would swoop in and arrest one person? So the FBI are involved, but they're not involved enough to feed you a piece of paper, but they're involved in friggin' the hiding and the hijacking of the babies, but they're not involved enough that they can turn around and say, well, we duped everyone on YouTube with our bullshit, and they're idiots, and we saved you from the YouTube. Look at the YouTube friggin'. They're over there. You want the FBI to really let these people loose on you and see what happens? If we didn't have all this Pizzagate and they were researching, you know, the school principal, I mean, you'd have problems. So we're giving them, we're manhandling the YouTube people, is what the FBI is doing. And you can't have it both ways and believe that the FBI wouldn't manhandle your brain and at the same time that they, you know, they wouldn't be involved like that, but they would be involved to give you some precursor information that leads to the internet going viral. And then no arrests, no, just that, man. They just handed you the paper. Oh, and the Lavoy Finicum drone tapes. The FBI threw that out there in 2015 for everyone to catch on Facebook. And then after, you know, in 2016, 17, I mean, they were doing murders on Facebook. Like the first Facebook Live murder. I was like, oh my God, how freaking ghetto is this friggin'... How much fantasy are these people gonna go to before people say, well, this is enough? Maybe we should make a law back about this. Like, maybe there should be some kind of law. People, Americans, should consider it, you know, when they wake up tomorrow and watch this video. And maybe it's not China the Three's fault. And there should be some kind of a law that's, you know, it's good that you can sell anything and make anyone buy whatever and stuff, but there should be some kind of law about, you know, basically friggin' propagandizing your entire population with BS off YouTube. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. I mean, there are no laws on YouTube since 2012 about anything that you want to create in the way of content. Like, you can create anything. Well, maybe, you know, the American people should consider that American population on a whole is not ready for that. It's not advanced enough. The full base of the population gets lost in the madness. And a lot of Americans, I think, come to the internet to gain some understanding, and they get abused by Uncle Google and her minions. And it's good that people know about that before they think that you come over here and get learned YouTube University and then you go out and you fix the world. That ain't how this is going to end up. What's going to happen over here is you're going to learn a lot of stuff, and then they're going to keep piling more and more stuff on you until you they break the camel's back. Okay, and then you go back to town as a broke back camel. And you don't talk to anybody about anything that you learned in the 5 or 6 years after you woke up following, or sometimes 2 years. People like me, 6 years. You can't repeat any of this information to anyone because they're going to think, based on how everything is going to be rewritten, that TOOFers are the problem. Well, when you go and repeat this stuff 5, 6 years later from your wealth of repertoire of things that you learned over your 5 years where everyone else was working, well, people will they will look at you like you're mentally friggin' insane. Yeah, so I Spy called out Pizzagate for telling people to call the FBI and, you know, stop trying to raise money for yourself and friggin' call the FBI, man. And they got a strike. Yeah, well, nobody really remembers other people, but I had a lot of Pizzagate videos, and I was like bragging that I was the Pizzagate for YouTube. Like, I was here before it came here, and I was like, as Pizzagate was coming out, I was putting out videos, and I was really caught up in that whole Pizzagate thing, and it was, you know, part of my process about learning about YouTubing. And then I kind of, you know, had a little bit too much traction, and then when I turned around and I wasn't so gung-ho on following these clowns, especially after they had struck one of my videos. And I was like, well, what do you care if I share one of your videos, man? It's not monetized, and it's about child abuse. I'm just trying to help get the word out. And then I saw, whoa, like a huge, you know, people triggered. Like, no, this guy, Bad Guacamole, was there for the views, man. And I got 26,000 views on his video, and he only got 6. And, you know, I was like, well, my channel's not monetized anyways, you know. I didn't see it like that. I wasn't considering that James Alefantis' Instagram photos that you collage together was all of a sudden your freaking property, man. And that's what I just got sick of YouTube, man, and all these people that were like, and then when you lose your channels, well, you start over, and other people that are nobodies pull ahead, and then you lose your channels again, and you start over, and it's, after a while, it's like, you just realize that it's a very bizarre landscape of, often often very special people that are interwoven. Hey, we are Free TV, man. I hope you're up first thing in the morning and this isn't on your way to bed, man. I was trying to allow for all the Americans to, just save yourself get this sleep, man. Wolf needs 8 hours of sleep every night. So I figured if I start early enough, nobody's gonna stay up for this. They're just gonna go to bed. I'm gonna get some new viewers, and the new viewers aren't gonna hate me like the old viewers. So I'll be good. And all right, we are free. Just woke up. Good man. Good man. That's what I like to hear. People taking care of their bodies, trying to sleep with the rhythm of the moon. It's kind of important that when the when the sun comes up, that you kind of, it's nice if you have an internal clock that kind of wakes you up around that time. Then everything else falls into place. So what's this Mystic Burrito League? That's a nice name, man. He's gonna head over to his external drive, find some goodies, and help get the hoax message out. Well, who's this guy's amazing, man. He's already joined the army, man, and he's stocking the shelves. Well, don't get too religious on YouTube, because that's another thing that's going to start to backfire, man. They're going to start throwing that one out there. Yeah, the whole thing that I liked today that, I think it was Freddie that did a video, and basically he was saying that, because Lift the Veil had a guy on his show recently, some kind of vegan dude, Mikey the Vegan, or some really shady looking character, and this guy's talking about he's seen some, he was in a place where he's seen something that was bizarre and to do with children, and Ray, and he's on Lift the Veil, and then he, like, what? And I thought Freddie made a good point to, like, why is he putting out his PayPal for donations for seeing kids getting abused and not doing anything? Like, what is with these? It's just so bizarre that they're like, there's nothing wrong with going on a show and having a book and talking about something that you make a book on computers or whatever, man, a book on gardens, and then you go on a show and you put out your PayPal, and people send you money because they want your garden to have success, or they want you to make more books, or they just want to give you money. Nothing wrong with that. But you go on a show, and it's like everybody, InfoWars wants everyone talking about abused children. And you go on a show, you start promoting these ideas and these conversations, and it's all made up by the people that are right there, right in front of you. I mean, there are no children. And then they shamelessly throw out, and UNIROC was doing, it was UNIROC that was calling out Lift the Veil for putting up Mikey the Vegan's PayPal information, saying that he shouldn't have done that. And then 10 seconds later, UNIROC's talking about his PayPal. I mean, UNIROC is reporting on those two jokers, true. But it's getting you. I mean, there is no. I mean, you should not be monetizing these invented stories of child abuse. I mean, it's pretty sadistic that these kids. I mean, if anyone, God forbid, under 18 listens to YouTube and gets caught, and, falls upon these clowns that are running these videos, like, they're not even 18 plus, man. This content, if that isn't friggin' over 18 content, then, I mean, you guys, just because you think that you're investigators, and that, and when I say you, I mean, I'm not talking to anyone watching this now, but just because they think they're investigators doesn't mean that those stories are not fantasy perversion, which is pretty much what that whole Pizzagate is. It's complete fantasy. Just because someone else tells you a fantasy and then you repeat it doesn't make it not fantasy. And, if it's fantasy and it's about puppy dogs, that's one thing. If it's fantasy about farming or about shopping, that's one thing. But the fantasy that they're cooking up is, to me, it's just the saddest thing that I've ever seen people get on board to push together as a group monetized. That's all. And, God forbid if they pushed Cicada, Pizzagate, then Q, like the Fango. I mean, Jesus, Murphy kid. And all, as much friggin' bitcoins as possible, and knowing full well that these stories are, the people at the core of these stories know that the stories are made up. Like, I know they're made up, and I'm not even involved with these groups. I'm just looking at it like that is impossible that this story is true. And, other men that are getting paid know that the stories are not true once the money starts rolling in from the BS and more BS starts getting produced. Well, these people are insiders. They know that it's bullshit. And I know it's bullshit mostly because of the people involved, like the Fango and Lift the Veil. But that's what you're looking at here, is you're looking into the minds of a very twisted person that thinks that he can make child abuse and demonic child stories into a viral trend on YouTube. And it's not one dude, it's a few people. Some, like one of the 50 most important people in DC, James Alefantis, clowns like him. And I wish it wasn't that. I wish there was an actual, group or club where people could go and work together and, effectuate some kind of change and help kids. It's not through the Pizzagate circle, 100%, I guarantee you that. That's friggin' Snake Oil. That's friggin' Jordan Slather on Comedy Central with QAnon, right there. Pizzagate. That's why it's got the stupid name, Pizzagate, and that's why Q's got the other stupid name, because they're both pretty much run by the same gangs of people. And they're stupid, and they're to make you turn around, and then they can say, look how stupid you are for believing this. And then people realize that they got duped, and then they don't want to say anything because they're just embarrassed. So they just hush hush and look somewhere else, whatever the next story is. And that's how, that's how manipulation goes, man. People don't want to talk out about them being fooled. So, yeah, Q. Well, the Donut Gate, that's complete failure. That's like another Cappy bullshit. Cappy touched it and it died. But the Donut Gate is James Alefantis again, trying to friggin' make another restaurant of his, sellable, marketable as a franchise. Basically, he's just gonna pump all this shit out about friggin', ping pong donuts or whatever he's gonna make the friggin' place called. Voodoo Doughnuts. And then they're gonna put this shit on the stock market, you know, Voodoo Donut chain, and then they're gonna shamelessly friggin' invest in their own shit and make it look like it's making money. And any suckers that invest in that shit are gonna, you know, the penny stocks are gonna jump. And basically, it's just gonna be another scam where he's gonna look around and be like, "Huh, I just make donuts. I'm just a lowly pizza maker. I mean, I don't have anything to do with Britney's Be Nice to Britney video that got 900 million views in a weekend. I don't have anything to do with that." And that's what you're dealing with on YouTube. Everyone's like, "No, that's not him. He's not. James Alephant is not involved in that. He's not just a glorified YouTube scammer that tries to make videos go viral, and then that's his job in life. Like, he only has to do that 4 times in his whole career. He's already done it once or twice. I mean, Pizzagate's 2. Britney's 1. And if he can do this Donut Gate, man, that's 3 for 3, man. He's ready to retire. And, what can I say, man? I gotta ask. I think, another push. Cappy did a podcast yesterday saying PayPal wouldn't let him have his money. Cappy making out he was new, but Vegan M had him tweeted it a week ago. Yeah, you know, the good thing about these people, like the Cappies and his little friend there that was, you know, his little sidekick that he wants to be famous, like, these people spend a lot of money. Like Cappy and these are high maintenance dudes. So they're not going to be able to stay on YouTube with this bullshit. Like, they can only stay on YouTube if things are going good. They can't afford to be around here and get, you know, slaughtered in the chats. That's not how YouTube works. That's going to wreck all their money for everything. Even their t-shirt sales are going to dry up. So, Cappy's, I mean, he's not as close to the edge as Random Rants Orion, but Cappy's ready to pack it in and salvage his little acting career as a child molester. I mean, Chomo video, I mean, it's totally friggin' not appropriate. But, whatever, man. Sick people get involved with sick things. If I was involved in that, I would have friggin' beat people up right on set, man. I would start beating everyone up. Oh, that's what this video is about? Boom, 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 boom. And I would have friggin' left the place with some camera equipment to go do a video down the street. Something more decent, man. Like some friggin' something else. Something totally different. And, you know, you can't do your life and then look back and be like, well, I just did that because that's what everyone expected and that's what everyone else is. You gotta friggin', this is a sick world, man. You can't just go along with everyone's sick ideas and be like, oh, well, it's not my fault. I didn't think of it. It's not how friggin' life works. And I think, you know, YouTube for me is a real eye-opener about how people are like in a little bubble and they're not looking beyond. They're not able to think beyond the bubble anymore. So I hope that people can detach from the leaders on YouTube, and you know, me included if you think I'm a leader, but just detach for them and think for yourselves, in the sense that a large portion of the people are on YouTube for profit. So it's not terrible, but just recognize that when you're giving news for profit, well, it helps for the news to always be exciting, and that's not how news goes, you know. And obviously, if you're telling fantasy, is more profitable than telling the truth. So that's why and these people that are, you know, ex-convicts and stuff. It's not the worst, but I mean, this is not a person that you're gonna take, you know. Monetize fantasy is a very high likelihood, you know. We're not talking about people with high moral standards, you know, people that are stealing or, you know, doing crimes and then coming on YouTube. Oftentimes they're not terrible people, but you know, it shows a you know, that's how the law is built, based on your past. And so unfortunately there's a lot of good convicts, and no ex-convicts need to follow me. And it's not the worst thing, but definitely stick to not selling monetized news. If you have a problem with dishonesty, you know, make a channel that doesn't, that your fantasy can't go on your own is really as important as anything, even more important than what you do in a group, because that group stuff ain't sticking around anymore. And God forbid you do live streams for a year and one of the guy turns out to be a complete asshat, that, you know, for whatever reason, which is a very high possibility. So you know, I'd say less depth into the back end of YouTube and more into creativity and creating some content, and even monetizing the creative side of your content, and not really hanging out with the monetized news channels, because they're very toxic. Shelly B, you said it, girl. It's all a failure, man. That's what I like to hear, man. You're singing my tune, man. That's, I mean, I'm gonna write a friggin' soundtrack for YouTube, and that's the name of the title of the album. Yeah, and people are running out of ideas, man. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. They're gonna have to come back with back to school ideas. I mean, what a shame that you know, the people, the controlling forces on YouTube have made it so toxic that it's basically you know, everyone that's, you know, all the new creators, the fabric of YouTube is actually, I don't know, it's been pushed away, and you just got a bunch of griminess. So go figure how MySpace ended its role, went from hero to zero inside of 2 years. Uh-oh. Shelly B's hearing things. Wait a minute, Rach, Shelly B, thanks everyone. Sure did. We Are Free came out of nowhere. Broke in with a stupid story. He sure did. Cappy came out of nowhere. And then Shelly B's like saying, I just heard Rumpelstiltskin say, he sure did. When he said it like this, I wish I had a credit card somewhere close, man. I put it in my mouth. He sure did. And many people don't post ideas anymore. It's true, you know. And it's like, I saw basically Freddie was doing a video about Marty Leeds, you know. And all I can say is that when the Pizzagate broke, so I guess it was in November 2015, when the Pizzagate broke out, Marty Leeds was one of these already big channel that put out a Pizzagate video that went viral, that you know, that made the story into what it is, you know, like not himself as a one creator, but that all these Pizzagate groupies, at that time, it was a big thing that he had done a video on Pizzagate, and he had 230,000 subs. So, the fact that he's over on Lift the Veil's channel now is not, I mean, I feel bad for the guy because it's like he's getting roped into their BS at the bottom end of YouTube. But it just shows how everyone's kind of connected on YouTube, and it's like he's back. He doesn't really realize how terminal it is on Lift the Veil's end of the YouTube Pizzagate. But his thing is still, you know, for him it gives him good feelings. You know, his video got however many views. But I think he had problems with his channel after that, you know. So just something to note that, you know, these people, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. That's what's going on there. And it's a year later, and they're just he's trying to help him get out of a rut. And Lift the Veil's in a rut because he's having difficulty putting, you know, his Pizzagate story forward because all the people that he's introducing are getting blown out of the water. So what he's trying to do is to reintroduce people that have already have some kind of credibility on YouTube. So that's where Marty Leeds comes in. And then with that, he can talk about his other shit, and then he can ask you to buy a friggin' Russian bot t-shirt, and then he can talk about his PayPal, and, you know, and the whole show is basically about Chomo, you know? Yeah, well, the music, man. The gig is up, yo. Well, the gig is up on the music, man. Unless you like Journey, and I mean, unless you like Journey on a broken record player, you know what I mean? And yeah, you gotta be careful because now everyone's gonna be a troll. Like, that's the new thing, is everyone's getting labels now. Everyone's getting called out. Everyone's part of this. If you have a position against Trump, well, you're anti-American, for Pete's sakes. I mean, and that's what YouTube's actually promoting, that kind of reactions out of people. Like, people being triggered is something that YouTube is nurturing. They're nurturing the triggered reaction out of people, and they're turning it into something that they can control. Yeah, well, I actually got the paint for this room. I got some paint over here. And I'll show you the color. I got this color here. It's like a taupey, greenish, gray kind of color. But it'll help. It'll be nice and relaxing, you know. There was another, like a blue color, but it was a little bit too cheery blue, so I was just like, you know, pastel blue. I thought of a darker, like a kind of a somber color would be nice. But no, the studio is actually painted. The only thing I got to do with the studio is I got to verify one of my channels in there, so that when I, you know, hook up all the computer stuff, that I don't cross one channel onto another. You know, you got to keep your channels on separate devices, and you can't use one device for 4 different channels, or things just don't look good at the back end when YouTube's looking over all that data. So yeah, that's what I've been sluggish on, is just I hate verifying anything with those jokers, you know. Back in the day, it was alright. You could just YouTube, and you didn't have to give them any information. But now it's like they want your phone number, they want this, they want that, it's ridiculous. Not that it matters, I just don't like to get into those type of interactions with the Borg. Shelly B, have a great night. Well, let me ask you, you know, because it's like, is it just me, or is anyone else noticing that the average age of YouTubers is getting older? Like, I'm noticing a lot of people are getting older, And not that many young people. I'm not, maybe it's just me that's not getting shared all the younger channels, which is a good thing, you know, but I'm noticing like a lot of like it's normal to meet someone in the chat that doesn't make content that's been on YouTube for 6-7 years that's 63. It's normal now. You know, it's very normal that the average age of my viewers is 40, 45, not like 25. So, I mean, to me, I'm getting the impression that this server's, unless maybe they're just segregating, blue hairs with blue hairs, Generation Xers with Generation Xers, and the new kids over there with Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj as their heroes. Yo, Major Flat D, there she is, Vice President of YouTube China to 3. My guardian when I go on the old Goodman channel. Gonna bring Major Flat D along to make sure she can keep her eye on things, that nothing gets looking too weird and gets out of hand. So we are free. You never heard of the album Journey? Well, go ahead and listen, man. Put it on Journey's greatest hits, and then close your eyes, man, and picture the friggin' face painter. Let me open this window here so I can see my chat. And yeah, we won't try and make this stream go much later than 6 a.m. We'll try and end it off, because yesterday Old Man Winter came in at 6:40. So today we're in, we're out. Safety and not being exposed to these viral infections. The infectious elders of YouTube, well, we'll see if we can avoid them today by ending the stream at 6 o'clock. So I'm over here. What did you guys think of my title, Cuban Missile Crisis, man, and the Hands Off Cuba? Man, I thought I would have some trigger. Figured people would be triggered, man. I love Cuba. And I Spy knows what I'm talking about. He's getting a giggle, man. I'm telling you, you gotta have fun on this demonic website as any way you can, man. Whatever puts a smile on your face. Whatever puts you over the edge to want to stay on this platform, well, I hope it's good to you, man. I mean, I do get certain pleasures out of certain things that, normal people that don't go on the internet wouldn't understand. We're in and out like buses. That sounds like a song by Lordy. Yeah, so I moved my my little tabletto, I moved it over to this side of the room. So, remember I said I was going to put the bed in the middle? It's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking more, hotellerie. And obviously, now that I'm living it up in the UK, you can see my life behind me is getting better. And that's how it goes, folks. As soon as you, as soon as you turn away these parasitic demon, avatar entities, your life just gets leaps and bounds, man. Things just get better every day. I'm gonna do a Patreon, man, where all the paintings can be deciphered on my Patreon for $1. I mean, this is gonna be friggin' good. I got a bunch of paintings that friends of mine do. This is one that's pretty amazing. And basically, it's got a lot of vibrant colors, and it's pretty, I guess, really stands out anyways with the colors. But, I guess it's about 10 years old, that painting. And the other one's probably about 20 years old. But, this channel's not about religion, paintings, or politics. Just pointing that out. And yeah, no, I Spy was a girl, and she made the painting, and it was kind of like it's pretty amazing when you look at it, and then you just wonder what's going on in people's heads, you know. But I like the colors because it's got yellow and orange and kind of pops out. But yeah, I actually, when I guess she never really thought I liked the painting, you know. She always thought I was going to throw it out, but I actually really like it. So, yeah, and I got another painting off eBay in an auction, and I really like it too. I'll put that up, man. I Spy, you'll like that painting. It's rolled up somewhere. I gotta get a frame and unroll it. I gotta find it wherever it is. But it's like a, like a body painting, but only with like 3 or 4 lines. It's pretty amazing how, you can paint something with not very much paint, and still, you really have to have a good eye for an imagination for, to get a good position on everything, so it doesn't just look like a bunch of squiggly lines on a paper. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have on my Patreon, for patrons only, man, $1, man, you get a tour, 360 tour the bedroom, man, 360 tour the office. I'll show some labels of my clothes that I wear, like this shirt here. I think is I guess it's America, Tristan. I think this is Old Navy. And we'll go and we'll check and see if the watch is real. I got a Gucci watch. We'll do a test on it. We'll smash it with a light hammer, see if it's impact resistant, like they said on the box. And yeah, it'll be like YouTube cribs, and then we'll go through and we'll do a criminal background check, and I'll show my the fact that I'm friggin' clean as a whistle, and just little things like that, the questions that the people want to know. The regular stuff, like, hey, man, let's get right to the bottom of this. And I'll get into what vitamins I take, whether it's a multivitamin or it's a series of independently sealed vitamins or powders or... Hey, Weetree Bunzai, that's 2 days in a row, and guess what? Today... Based on our experience yesterday, you didn't know that we were doing flash mob. Basically, we were doing flash mob chat, and everybody was supposed to be kind of aware that if Old Man Winter showed up, the stream was going to end, and everyone was going to back out of the chat, and then I was going to start filming it on my other computer right here, and then Old Man Winter would be typing all kinds of insults, but then there would only be one person, two people in the chat, me and him. Or there was always three people in the chat, me, him, and Winter. So it worked out pretty good. I did a video, I uploaded it, and you know, I mean, you gotta work with what you get, you know, with these people. Like, I don't really want to collaborate with them, so technically I'm avoiding them through collaborating through avoiding them. And it worked, you know, it worked for first ever flash mob in a chat. Virtual chat flash mob. We're cutting edge over here with the America shirt. Notice I'm wearing the horizontal lines again, and that I have, as a instead of a Canada flag or an America flag, I have the universal peace flag. So that's to just maintain a harmonic balance with everyone on YouTube that might be tuning into this video on this amazing Sunday morning, and they saying to themselves, what is his political position, and how does he feel about, let's say, Donald Trump or Justin Trudeau? And then you just recognize that that's not what this channel's about. So, what's a good question? Bath and Body Works gift card, please. Alright, Quantum Epics. We'll have to make... we won't give gas cards on my channel. We'll give out Bath and Beauty Body gift cards, man. I'm telling you. I mean, once the patron money starts rolling in, all that money's going towards gift cards, man. So don't worry, man. $1, $1 at a time, man. Climb that mountain. Once we get to $20... bath cards galore, man. Freaking bath card a month. And I did my patron $10 for Jason Goodman VIP treatment. I mean, if that guy doesn't buy it for $10, I mean, it's named after him, tier 2. And then tier 1's $1 for anyone else. But I mean, you don't even really have to. I mean, I guess you can just be a patron without even paying $1. So go figure. You know, if I could get 1,000 patrons and nobody paid $1, these other people that have 1,000 patrons where everyone's paying $500, they're gonna think I'm making $500,000 a month. They're gonna get triggered. I'm gonna spend all night trying to take down my patron. I mean, that's basically what we're looking at here, kids. So go on and sign up to my patron, and that'll keep all the old people triggered until it goes away, just like all my GoFundMes and all my everything that I try and do on this website, this godforsaken website, is basically a testament to futility. And you know, I mean, people that have been here long enough can speak to the fact that I've been spinning my wheels in the mud for 5 years now, and the trolls laugh at me. So we ain't quitting anytime soon. We ain't quitting till they stop laughing. That's about it. Yeah, the Dump Trump. Well, we're giving away the. Actually, I'm gonna do a Dump Trump shirt burning exorcism, cause Dump Trump has the convoy triggered hard, man. She was friggin'. She was biting her lip. Where she was biting her upper lip with her bottom tooth, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm gonna exercise this. It's an exorcism on that Dump Trump shirt, man. I'm gonna get Bartley. Bartley's gonna and I are gonna do a live stream, and I'm gonna get him to counsel me on how best way to burn a shirt on YouTube to get 5,000 views, and that's what's gonna happen to the Dump Trump shirt, because I'm not gonna wear a T-shirt that I got at the secondhand store from 2016, kids. That's not it's not the idea here. And what's up with Laz? What do you mean, Shelby? Laz is alright, man. He's alright. He's doing all right. He's doing good. Whatever he's doing, I don't know. Because I'm sleeping when he's awake. And it's hurricane season, so I hope he's friggin' buttoned down the... I hope he's buttoned down the hatches on the tent. Aside from that, everybody is going to have a wonderful journey, whatever it is, individually on this here platform. And hopefully it's memorable, you know. I always say to myself, my YouTube experience is more memorable than a lot of, you know, people's experiences that they would have with real life people, because of the fact that real life people are somewhat more accountable. So when you spend a lot of time on this website, it's like, whoa, you observe the depth of non-accountability. So, what's up with Dave Acton? He wrote another book, May 9th, 2018. I mean, the guy just produced a book. I mean,